Good morning and welcome to our second Clean Tech Symposium. Our first symposium was held on November the 5th, the day after a long election day. I stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning, or a little later than that myself that night. Today is our second symposium. It's the day after a very long inaugural day. You know, we got to stop meeting like this. Our next symposium is February the 18th, and I looked in Google and I couldn't see anything exceptional happening on February the 17th or 18th. I think 18th is Gambia National Day, and so I don't think we'll lose too many people from that. But by February the 18th, I think we'll be back on a schedule that is a little more in sync with everyone else's schedule. Meanwhile, I think we've got a very exciting agenda today that's going to keep everyone on the edge of your seats. Our purpose, of course, is to become educated about, learn about, and help promote clean tech economic development in not just Orange County, but Metro Orlando and Central Florida. We have a lot of partners in this endeavor. I mentioned at our first symposium that 15 years ago when I came here, our partner really was the Economic Development Commission in terms of economic development. There was no Enterprise Florida at the time. We had no technology incubator. We had no venture lab. We had no SBDC, at least in the way we have it today. We didn't have the Institute for Economic Competitiveness. We have all of those entities these days. And so when we look in terms of economic development, all of those entities are part of our economic development strategy. But now we've got to look beyond that with clean tech and recognize that the Florida Solar Energy Center, the Nanotechnology Science Center, all of those institutions and programs at UCF need to be an integral part of our economic development program. So I want to especially thank our key sponsors for the Clean Tech Symposiums, and especially the UCF Venture Lab, which is managing and moderating the symposiums, and also the UCF Institute for Economic Competitiveness that is conducting a companion economic clean tech study. A number of cities and communities have already completed their clean tech studies, San Diego being one of them. This was in the reference guide that we distributed at the first symposium, but if you look at Austin, Boston, and about every place in between, you'll find some sort of clean tech study or clean tech symposium series or roundtables. In a lot of those communities, they do the clean tech study first, and then they start a roundtable sessions to figure out how to implement it. We've kind of looked at that and learned from that, and are conducting them both at the same time. They were a little bit out of sync in the beginning, just because it took a little longer to implement some of the steps in terms of the clean tech study, getting a project manager on board and getting the internship team together and so forth. But everything is in sync now, and we're running fairly smoothly. I want to, before we begin this morning, especially thank two other sponsors. One is Aquafiber. They're helping to sponsor today's event, and I would encourage you to look at their website and see what they're doing and commit a little bit of it to memory. When we first started this whole endeavor, we knew that clean tech was the buzzword in San Diego, Boston, and Austin, but we didn't know exactly what that was. And what I would ask people, well, name 5 clean tech companies in Orlando. We all had a little bit of a difficult time doing that. We've come to find out that there are at least 6 or 7 emerging startup clean tech companies that are being serviced by the Venture Lab and the Technology Incubator. They were the focus of our first symposium, along with the institutions and entities and centers at UCF. But we've also come to realize that, gee, when you look at some of our largest employers, they have a significant amount of clean tech also. Siemens Energy, Mitsubishi Power Systems, for example. And those presentations are the key part of today's presentation. But I want to thank Aquafiber for sponsoring today's event, and I encourage everyone to go into their website and see more about that. I also want to thank Sweet, by good golly, Miss Holly in Waterford Lakes, for providing the breakfast cupcakes today. And my motto always has been that a cupcake a day is okay. So maybe you would want to adopt that as your New Year's resolution and support Sweet. And there's their phone number, and I encourage you to go to their website and see all the things that they can do for your next event. I also want to thank, and I think we all need to thank Orange TV, Barry Keller, Orlando O'Heather, and Mike Bluslovich. They're the staff today that are videotaping the seminar series. As you know, we provide a transcript, full transcript of every word that is spoken at these symposium series, and we have videos of every single presentation. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have a new Orange County website with all that material on it. In the meantime, I think you are all emailed that material. I hope that doesn't keep you from coming to these symposiums. It occurred to me that, gee, you know, I can get the transcript, I can get all the videos, why show up at 7 o'clock in the morning? But if you do miss the symposiums, I think you're missing a lot because you're not part of the discussion. The audience today and at our other symposiums are really a critical component of the symposium series and the study. In the Clean Tech study, for example, there'll be a section that lists all the companies and organizations that have an interest in clean tech and support clean tech, with contact information, a description, and so forth. And if you haven't been contacted yet, in order for us to collect that, you will be, because we want to present very fully the full extent of our clean tech community here. And Orange TV is doing all of the videotaping of all of the sessions, and I think they should be applauded for that, because Orange TV, just as with other counties and other departments and groups in Orange County, have to watch their budget, and they're under the Budget Acts. And so I'm trying to do all I can to express our appreciation for Orange TV this morning. Let's give them applause. And also, we of course want to thank Jim Weaver and the UCF Downtown Center for hosting these events. This is a great room and a great facility to have these events in, and thank Jim Weaver and UCF for that. One of a couple of slides that I got 5 minutes, so I figured I got about 4 minutes left. I want to emphasize at least where we are in terms of just knowing what clean tech is. And these are from our first symposium. Clean tech encompasses a diverse range of innovative products and services that optimize the use of natural resources and reduce the negative environmental impact of the use while creating value by lowering cost, improving efficiency, or providing superior performance. To me, that's probably the best definition of clean tech that I've come along yet. It includes all the aspects of clean tech. And that definition may change a little bit as Marielle and Sean move forward with the study and we hear from you. But that may be a good starting place. That's a definition from Ernst & Young. And if you look through there are really 3 elements of that. One is innovation. One is green, going green, reducing negative environmental impacts. And the other is value added. So an easy way to remember what clean tech is a very, well, press the wrong button. Just by a simple formula, clean tech is equal to green plus innovation plus value added. Clean is more than green. Clean tech economic development means attracting, creating, and growing the innovative, high-value companies that produce the products and provide the services that will allow us and the rest of the world to go green. A working definition of clean tech, again, that might be adjusted or modified somewhat as we hear from you and as we move forward with the symposium series. There are 2 parts, of course, to our initiative, the Clean Tech Economic Study, which will look at our assets, our capabilities, our potential, and the possibilities. What we hope to come out of from this Clean Tech series and this study is maybe 5 to 10 very actionable items that could be part of Mayor Crotty's lasting legacy in getting those started, and also provide a starting place for the new mayor. So there is a rhyme to reason for having this economic study to provide guidance. With all of the clean tech expenditures coming from hopefully the new Obama administration, there's going to be some money to do some of these things. And of course, as I mentioned, the Clean Tech Symposium series, which is an integral part of the study. We take information from the symposiums, it goes into the study. As the study is developed, information and questions and surveys will be coming out of the study for you to participate in. So that's really where we are with the Clean Tech Symposiums. Thank you all for coming. Kirsty Chadwick and Krista Santos, who is working with Kirsty, has just done an outstanding job in putting these together and managing them. At our February symposium, we hope to have Jacques Shirazi, who's the manager of the San Diego Clean Tech Initiative, here to tell us the San Diego story, so we'll learn from them. Along the way, if you have an inclination that you'd like to contribute and help sponsor one of these symposiums, such as Aquafiber has stepped up to do today, please let Kirsty or I or one of the other people associated with the effort know, so that we can engage you. Bringing in someone from San Diego involves a little more expense, so we're especially looking for someone to help sponsor that event. And I also want to recognize our court reporter today, who is with Zacco and Associates, and she's the one that's sitting in the front row and taking down every word that you say. So every word that you say means something, and we're going to keep it forever. Thank you very much, and it's my pleasure to introduce Kirsty Chadwick, the director of the Venture Lab, who will be our moderator for today. And one of the things that the Venture Lab has done is join the Clean Tech Network, which is probably the world's premier organization for clean tech companies, investors, and organizations interested in clean tech. And Kirsty and Sean Christensen with the Venture Lab have attended these forums in Washington, in California, and they're bringing back what they've learned to share with you. And the first time we're doing that is with Kirsty this morning. So I think I already used a minute or two of her time. So.